Good morning, everyone. My name is Swaraj Mule, and I am a grade 10B student at Savitribai Phule English Medium School. Today, I am excited to talk about Dr. Ramkrishna Gopal Bhandarkar from our history second chapter, Historiography, Indian Tradition. He was a brilliant Orientalist historian who completely changed how we study our past by bringing strict scientific methods to India's ancient history. Let's see how he did it. Who was R.G. Bhandarkar? Dr. Ramkrishna Gopal Bhandarkar was born on July 6, 1837, in Malwan, Maharashtra. He lived during the colonial era, a time when people were heavily debating how Indian history should be written. He wasn't just a reader, he was a builder. He served as a professor and later as the vice chancellor at the University of Bombay. Plus, in 1917, the famous Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute, or BORI, was founded in Pune in his honor. He was dedicated his whole life to history before passing away in 1925. The Orientalist tradition in Indian historiography. To understand his work, we need to know about Orientalism. This was a school of thought where scholars studied Eastern civilizations through their own ancient languages like Sanskrit and Pali. But while most Orientalists were European, Dr. Bhandarkar was homegrown Indian scholar. He took Western critical methods and combined them with his deep native knowledge, laying the actual foundation for a systematic, evidence based history of ancient India. R.G. Bhandarkar's method, reading ancient Indian. His research method was incredibly strict. He had one golden rule: never rely on gossip, always use primary sources. To do this, he mastered four languages: Sanskrit, Pali, Prakrit, and Persian. He went out and personally gathered copper plate inscriptions, stone edicts, and ancient coins. His famous book, Early History of the Deccan, proved that using real documents could clear away old myths and reveal the absolute truth. R.G. Bhandarkar's major works and achievements. His biggest achievements come down to three things. First, his book, Early History of the Deccan, became the blueprint for writing regional history. Second, his book, Vaishnavism, Shaivism, and Minor Religious Systems, objectively tracked the history of our main religious traditions. And third, the legacy lives on through Bori in Pune, which still protects thousands of priceless ancient manuscripts today. How Archie Bhandarkar wrote history. If we took at his daily work, he followed a simple 5 step process. Firstly, he identifies sources like old coins and inscriptions. Then, second, he learned the languages to read them accurately. After that, he critically analyzes by comparing different accounts. Then, fourth, reconstruct the narrative to build an accurate timeline. And finally, fifth, he published the findings for the world to see it. R.G. Bhandarkar at the University of Bombay. Because of his because of his dedication, his academic legacy is massive. At the University of Bombay, his lectures inspired a whole new generation of Indian historians. He received the highest honors of his time, including the title of Mahamopadhyaya for Sanskrit scholarship. He was also made a fellow of the Royal Asiatic Society and is remembered today alongside Lokmanya Tilak as a giant of Maharashtra's intellectual renaissance. R.G. Bhandarkar and the Indian historiographical tradition. My favorite part about him is that he didn't just stay in the library. He was a passionate social reformer. Even when it was dangerous to do so, he fought for women's education, widow remarriage, and against caste discrimination. As a leader of the Prarthana Samaj alongside Justice Ranade, he used his knowledge of ancient texts to prove that superstition and untouchability were not part of our true original culture. R.G. Bhandarkar as a social reformer. To wrap up things, from his birth in 1837 to founding of Bori in 1917, his impact was huge. We will study him today in grade 10 because he is a founding of father of Indian historiography. His ultimate lesson to us is this: India's past isn't just a collection of myths. It is a rich scientific history and it's just waiting for us to read it, in which his dedication to women's education and widow remarriage, and he was a leader of the Prarthana Samaj. The enduring legacy of R.G. Bhandarkar. This is the flowchart for your reference. In short, you can read this to have the learn things today in this lecture. Thank you for watching me. Thank you.